In Excel, if you create an Excel table instead of just using a list, it makes it easier to work with the data. So here I had a list, I changed it into a table by selecting a cell in that list, going to Insert Table, and that gives me formatting, and it puts drop-downs in the header row where I can filter or sort the data very easily. Another benefit of using a table is that it's very easy to get a total for any of the columns. I'll select a cell in the table, and under Table Tools on the ribbon, click Design. There's a Table Style Options section where some of the boxes are checked already for filters and the header row. I'll check the total row. That puts in a heading and a total in the total column, and I can add more totals. If I want the total quantity as well, I click here, and from the drop-down list, I can select any of these functions. I'll pick Sum, and that's my total quantity. For product, I don't have numbers in this column, but I could still use one of the functions. So from the drop-down, I'll select Count, and that will count any text in that column. We've got 7 orders. If you look in the formula bar, when you have one of the total cells selected, you'll see that it uses the subtotal function. Here it's subtotal. The first argument is a number, and that is based on the function that you selected. I selected count, and the number for that is 103. In this one I selected sum, and it put in a 109. You don't have to remember those numbers. They'll change automatically. If I select average, it changes the number to 101. And then it shows what you're going to subtotal, and for this it's the quantity column. The advantage of the subtotal, instead of using sum or average or one of the other functions, is that it adjusts and only uses the visible data. So if I filter this table, instead of showing the average for everything or the count of everything, it's only going to count what is visible. For this column, I'll filter and hide the paper. So now it's just the pen orders, and we can see that the count using subtotal has adjusted to only count these 3 orders. It's not counting the hidden ones. When I clear the filter, the count changes to show everything that's visible. I can also manually hide one of these rows. I'll right-click and hide that, and now it adjusts so that it's only counting the visible, even though I didn't use the filter. I used the hide command. And I'll show it again, and it adjusts again to count everything that's visible. This formula, because it's using the field name, will automatically adjust if I put new data into the table. So I'll click on this last cell, press Tab. That inserts a new row. I'll put 55, West, pens, 20, and we sold those pens were $5. I didn't make any change to this formula, but it adjusted automatically to include the new row in the table. For more Excel tips and tutorials, and to download the sample file for this video, please visit my Contextures website at www.contextures.com.